I'm so speechless right now that I've actually just turned on the camera and I'm about to explain what happened Friday, August 21st, 2015 on Friday night. Oh my god. So as pretty much I'm sure a lot of you may know if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram and everything like that, I went to a 5 Seconds of Summer concert. I told you guys that I was going to the one in Cleveland, Ohio. I got brought up on stage. I literally, like, I'm just, like, thinking about it when I'm about to make this video, and I've cried so much this whole weekend, like, ever since, like, Friday, and I've been so emotional, and the nerves have been all over the place, and I've just cried so much that I just can't contain myself, and I'm sitting down filming, telling you guys this, and I'm just basically gonna tell you my experience and everything that happened and all the details. You guys wanted to see this, and I'm so excited to be sitting down to film this. I'm trying not to cry. I'm just so drained from crying that I don't even think tears will be able to produce, but I have that feeling that I'm about to cry just even thinking about this. So basically I'm just going to tell you the story sort of from start to finish, and I'll most likely put video clips in between. I know I'm probably not myself right now, and that's just only because I'm just still so in shock. And I can't believe this, and it's Sunday when I'm filming this, and everything happened on Friday night, and I literally am still in so much shock, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the video, and I can't stop smiling. I have not stopped smiling since Friday. Okay, I'm gonna start now, and I'll probably either insert all the video clips that I got and all the pictures from, like, when I talk about it or after, but I'll let you guys know, and yeah, here we go. We're gonna do this, okay? I literally, wow, okay, I don't even know where to start, honestly, because so much happened on Friday. And I think I'm just gonna start by just, honestly, wait, I don't know where to start. I should have, like, thought this through, but I'm just gonna, like, try and wing this. But first of all, I want to start with the whole fiasco that I had about I thought I wasn't even gonna get to go to the concert. Friday morning comes, and long story short, I'm getting ready all morning, and then I come down to, you know, get the tickets and put them in my purse. I laid them on the counter in the white envelope that they came in the mail with. And then I didn't see them, and I was so shocked, and I was crying, and I couldn't believe that this happened. I was screaming and crying. I was like, where's the tickets? And I told my dad, and because he was going to be the one to take Mariah's place and go, and he was freaking out. Like, we had to, like, call the ticket people, and he couldn't believe it. He threw that white envelope away that had those tickets in it. And it was absolutely crazy, and the trash man already came and picked up, and I honestly thought I wasn't going to go. I didn't think my parents were going to let me go by myself and them not be able to go, because I had already sold my floor ticket, so I had basically one ticket left, and there was no way they could get us our money back. But my parents, being amazing as they are, they ended up buying floor seats, because all the ticket the ticket place could do was just, you know, comp us and get us, you know, they were in the first row on the floor, so they were going to be right behind me in the pit, and I ended up being on Michael's side of the pit since that's where my ticket was. But then I realized that one of my really, really good friends, Amanda, was going to be going to the concert as well, and she was going to be in that same pit. So basically we ended up meeting up with her, and it was amazing. I got merch. I was so excited. I was standing in line, and my parents had my sign at the hotel room because we dropped everything off at the hotel, and they let general admission in at 6 o'clock. So I was in line waiting at like 4:45, 5 o'clock, and we were pretty, like, oh, I hope we get close. I hope we get close, like, in line or at the pit and stuff when they let us in. And I was so afraid that my parents weren't going to be able to bring my sign in because I didn't have it, because I was like, oh my gosh, are you guys going to get it to me? And my parents were like, oh, we'll bring it in when we come, when they let us in at 6:30, because everyone else that didn't have general admission, they let in at 6:30 at the concert. And I apologize if I'm talking fast. It's just because I've been talking fast ever since Friday, because I still cannot process this through my mind. Basically, then what had happened was that they didn't give me my sign in time, and I was already going in, but I was like, okay, they'll get it to me. They're literally going to be right behind me in the pit. And they got up there and they told me they didn't think they were going to be able to bring it in. And the police guard came and he was like, you can't bring that in because it has lights on it. But I was like, what? I'm looking around the arena because I was already in there, and everyone had lights on their signs, and I was like, what? I'll insert a picture of my poster right here, and yes, this is the poster that got me on stage that I held up, and it was green, and I did it with little letters, and I put lights around it, and it said, I can play all your songs, bring me on stage. And I was not lying when I said I could play all of their songs. If you guys didn't know, I've been a Five Sauce fan in the Five Sauce family for 3.5 years now, so over the course of that, I've literally learned all of their songs, and I'd been playing guitar since then, and my guitar's like back there, but I've been playing guitar like for almost 4.5 years now, and so I pretty much over the course of that learned all their songs. So I was like, that's what I should put on my sign, and I was like all so excited, but I still was like, there's still gonna be so many other girls that have signs that are like, pick me. But we got in there, and I didn't think we were gonna be so close. I almost started crying. We were so close. Like, honestly, I thought the pit was gonna be packed. I had never been in a pit for like a Fiasco concert before ever, and I'd never been in a pit like that ever at a concert. So I was just like, I don't know what to expect, but I expect there to be a lot of people, and I was just like scared that I was just gonna get pushed the way back because I'm like a wimp and I don't know how to like push my way through things. But basically we were so close, and I'll insert some pictures probably right now on the screen or over my talking, something like that. But we got so close, and me and my friend Amanda were like, oh my god, like we were crying. We took so many videos, and then basically my parents were able to get my sign to me, and that was awesome, and basically now we're sort of getting into the concert part of things. You know, opening act, Hey Violet performed. I was so hyped. I have never been so more excited in my whole entire life, because I honestly, Thursday night when I was making my sign, I had no idea that I was going to get pulled up on stage. I literally had no utterly idea. It was such a shock, and I could not believe it, and I still can't believe it. But the concert started, and since I went to the Louisville show for the Rock Out With Your Socks Out tour, and that was my first one, I knew what song they pulled a fan on stage on, and that was in the middle of Rejects, so I was sort of prepared to know when to hold up my sign. And the concert started. I was so hyped, and let me tell you guys, literally, I have never screamed so loud in my life. I was screaming like a man. Like, every time, like, Michael, well, he was, like, over there anyways, but every time, like, Luke would come over, or every time Michael would, like, look directly down, like, at me and my friend, or, at the pit, I would scream so loud. Like, I was just so hyped. I would be like, yes, yes, ah! Like, I would just be, like, screaming so loud, and it was, like, the funniest thing, because we made eye contact a few times, and, like, me and Callum made eye contact, and I was just like, whoa, 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 this is great. And then at the end of Long Way Home, when they were about to play Rejects, I was like, oh my god, like, I was like, they're about to play Rejects, Amanda, go get my sign, and she ran and got my sign. I turned it on, and I held it up through, like, the end of Long Way Home, and you guys, Michael saw my sign before they even started playing Rejects. So he goes over and he starts, like, he was like playing his guitar, and it was like Luke's verse or whatever. They were about to be done with like the song, and like Luke was like ending it or whatever. And then he goes over there and he looks me straight in the eyes, like he's looking down at the pit. And then I was screaming, so I was like, Michael, please, 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 like, please look, Michael. And I was screaming so loud, and he looked at me directly in the eyes. He read my poster, and then he looked back at me in the eyes, and he smiled at me, and he was nodding his head. He was smiling and nodding his head, and all the girls around me that I had talked to, like, that knew I was bringing my poster that I was in the pit with, turned around at me. They were like, oh my god, like, everybody was just like, oh my god, like, he saw it, like, what if you get pulled up? He saw it. And at that point, I was freaking out, and I started shaking, and, like, I was, like, shaking when I was holding up my sign, and it was absolutely crazy. And I wish I could have, like, had a video that showed Michael's, like, when he was looking at me, but, like, no one was recording, because I was, like, holding up my sign, and, like, no one was really recording that part. But then they started playing Rejects, and I had so many people that recorded that, and I just had so many people, and I'm so grateful that so many people got so many different videos and pictures, and I'm not sure quite yet which ones I'm gonna put, like, in this video, but they're just gonna be probably, like, the clear ones and stuff like that that people were able to get, or the really good ones. But then I sort of had a feeling in the pit of my stomach, because it was hilarious, because I remember telling myself, like, oh, I'm on Michael's side now. I was like, knowing Michael, he's probably gonna see my sign and, like, laugh or something, or, like, think it was, like, cool that I, like, brought a sign that had lights on it. I was like, he's probably gonna see it, and then he did. And guys, my heart dropped to my feet. I couldn't feel my legs. I was just like, what is happening? And then they played Rejects. I was screaming so loud, and, like, I was just, like, I was singing along screaming, and I was still holding up my sign. And I told Amanda, I was like, here's my phone, like, just in case, like, have my phone. And but then everyone was screaming, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what is gonna happen? And, like, I still didn't know for sure if they were gonna pull me up on stage. So it was like other girls had in the pit had signs, and, like, other fans had signs in the back, and I was just like, there's a chance that they will, but there's a chance that they'll pull someone else up. And then basically they were talking and mumbling about something. They were just being funny and talking about like reading other people's signs, and the lights were still off, and they had their flashlights they had their flashlights, and they were just like shining them on different people, and like it would like come across me, but it wouldn't be like on me. And then finally Luke said, "Hey Mike." He said, "Hey Mike." He was like, "Hey Michael." And then Michael was like, "Can you turn up Luke's vocal?" Like, because he couldn't hear him in his earpiece. He was like, "Can you turn up Luke's vocal?" And as soon as he did that, Luke shined his light on me, and he was like, "Look, she can play all our songs, like, she can play all our songs." And Michael was like, he was like, "I saw that sign." He was like, "I saw that sign." And they were like, "Do you think she's lying?" And I was like, "We want her, bring her up." And I was just like, when I saw that Luke shined the light on me, and if you guys didn't know, I'm a Luke girl. You guys probably knew that from like watching all of the videos, but when I saw that they shined the light on me, I was just like, what? And then when they said, we want her, literally, I didn't have time to even think. And the security guy, like, literally dragged me by the arm, and I had dropped my sign, and my friend Amanda, like, filmed my reaction, so I think I'll put that in right here. But basically, oh my gosh, like, I got up there, and the security guy was like, where's your phone, because you weren't allowed to bring phones or cameras or anything on stage, but my phone, Amanda had my phone, like, the girl that was filming for me with my phone, and then I was like, oh, I don't have it, my friend has it, and I gave him, like, my camera that was in my pocket and my book bag, and that was all I had, and then he was like, go right, and so, like, go right to get up on the stage, and I went right, and literally there was 3 steps, the stage was right there. I thought I was gonna have to, like, go around the back or something, or there was gonna be someone waiting for me, but then I turn right, and there's like, I was like, huh, and it was still dark, like they hadn't kicked the lights back on yet, they just had their flashlights, and Michael was like, wee woo, someone call the fun police, this place is going down, and like, I heard that, and I realized that I was there, and then the lights kick on, and it goes, bah, and they were like, she's coming, like, before I got up there, and then Luke goes, hi, like, he was like, hey, he was like, hi,
someone call the fun police, this place is having too much fun. Alright. Hey! Come on down here.
I was like, oh my god, I got up here, and I was like trying to keep my chill like the whole time, and like, I just want to put this in real quick. I was like, I was prepared to go up there if I were to get chosen, but then I wasn't, because I was like, what song am I gonna play? Like, what song am I gonna play? But in my mind, I had She's Kinda Hot, because that's the one that I learned recently, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just say that one. But then in the back of my mind, I also was like, oh, like, I really kind of wanted to play Out of My Limit, but it would be really cool to play She's Kinda Hot, since that was like their new song that they had just released. And I was like, I got up there, and like Luke was like, hi, and he was like, how are you? And then I like waved at him, and I was like, I shaked my head like good, because I couldn't like say anything because the mic wasn't on me. And then Michael like scared the crap out of me because I didn't realize that he was gonna be right there. So I saw Luke first when the lights kicked on, and I didn't even think it was real. I literally, guys, I thought I was dreaming. And
came out of nowhere, and I scared her. She was like, ah!
Sorry if the angles change. I was running out of space on my camera and had to delete stuff, and there's a really bad sunflare. Oh my lord. Anyways, where was I? What was I talking about? But I was saying like how I was on stage, I think, or I got up there and I didn't think it was real because I saw Luke, and once I saw Luke, I was just like, what? But then I was like close to Michael, and he was like, I think I scared her. Like, as he was walking me to the catwalk, Luke was like this, like he motioned his arm, and then there were, Michael was like, I think I scared her, like he saw me, and she goes, oh, and like he imitated me, and it just like, it was all like happening so slowly for me, but then it all felt like it was happening so fast though, because I got up there and I couldn't hear them that well, just because I didn't have like those ear things, but I could still hear them, you know, because people were like screaming, so I was kind of drowning them out, but I was like trying my hardest to listen really closely, but also trying to keep my cool. And like I said, I was prepared, because I was like, if I get up there, I know I'm going to be comfortable, because it's 5 Sauce. I was like, how could I not be comfortable? Like, I've waited for this moment for my whole life, and guys, this literally was my dream. And so I I got up there and Michael was like, he was like, you know, like motioning, like Luke was like motioning me and Michael was like walking me to the catwalk, like, you know, I was following him.
Came out of nowhere and I scared her. She was like, ah! Hello! Come on down here. Came out of nowhere and I scared her. She was like,
I like looked at Luke and I was just like, I was looking at him and I was like, as I was getting closer to him, I was just like, my heart literally felt like it was gonna stop, and I thought I was gonna be speechless, and when they started asking me the questions, I thought I was gonna not be able to say anything, and I was gonna freeze, but I was like, Brianna, don't freeze, like, don't freeze, you got this. And I saw Luke, and you guys, like, literally, but like, I was looking at Michael, but literally Michael was smiling like the whole time I was looking at him. He hadn't said anything yet, but he was just like, he was smiling at me, and I was looking at him, and I was like, like, I could not believe it. And then I finally looked at Luke, and me and Luke looked at each other for like a good probably like 3.5 seconds, but it felt like a year. But when I first looked at him, we looked at each other for a good 3.5 seconds, and guys, he looked me straight in the eyes, and I couldn't breathe. He looked me straight in the eyes, and like, it looked like he was, I was like, whoa, what? And he was just like looking at me, and he had the biggest smile on his face, and I looked at his lip ring, and I saw his lip ring, like, and I like looked at his, like, I saw his beard, and the light was like, the bright spotlight was shining right on him and me, and like, me and Michael, like, where everything was, and like, all of us, because I was in the middle of them, and so I literally could see every perfect detail of their faces. And but like, that moment when me and Luke like stared at each other and looked each other in the eye for like that, the first time, I wanted to literally cry. Like, I want to cry right now. Like, I feel like I'm gonna start crying, but I can't. And for everyone asking though, because I feel like people are gonna ask this, yes, this was a shirt that I wore on stage. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Then I got up there, I was in the middle, and then Michael was like, what's your name? And I was just like I was like looking at Luke and like looking at him. I was like, who do I look at? But I was looking at Michael because he was asking me the question, and I was trying to lean in because he like said it in my ear and he said it in the mic. And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, Brianna! Like, I was so excited and so overwhelmed, and I was just trying to react to everything, and it was just all happening, and I was just trying to take in the moment and literally live in the moment. And I was like, Brianna, and then he was like, oh, what did he say after that? He was like, everybody give it up for Brianna! And then all the crowd started screaming, and like, I looked like at Luke and Michael, and like, I looked at the crowd, and I was just like, I grinned so big, like,
hello! What's your name?
Brianna!
Give it up for Brianna!
I was so excited, and it was the best feeling that I ever got. Like, the feeling that I had when I was up there, and especially when I first came on, it was like my heart was like gonna beat out of my chest and like out of my mouth, and I was just like, oh, like, I had waited for so long for this moment, and I honestly was just trying to process that it was actually happening in my brain. And I couldn't believe it, and it was so crazy. And after Michael says, everybody give it for Brianna, Luke said something, and I was looking straight at him, and he says, I like your shirt. And then I didn't think he said that. Like, he looked at my shirt and like looked at my jeans and like looked back up at me, so he kind of like looked at my shirt, and he was like, I like your shirt, and his like face was like looking at my shirt and stuff and looking back at me and just smiling so big. And I didn't, like, I knew that's probably what he said, but, like, I was like, there's no way that he could have said that. Like, did he just compliment me? And so I was like, just to make sure I don't make a fool out of myself, I want to ask him what he said. So I leaned in and I was like, what? He said, that's a nice shirt. And then literally, like, we got so close when we, like, leaned in. Like, he wanted to, like, he was like, he said it in my ear and said it into my mic. He was like, that's a nice shirt. And guys, it was and then my first reaction was like, I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I was really like, oh, thank you. And then Luke goes, ha ha ha, like this cute laugh. And I just want to put this in, like, guys, he was literally flirting with me. Like, I could feel it. Like, when we made eye contact, I felt like he knew, and I knew that he knew that I was a Luke girl, because he was like being all cute with me and being all flirty, and like when he complimented me on my shirt, I was like, oh, like, thank you. And like when he laughed, it was so funny, because like, I think it was Ashton that said it, but it could have been Michael, but I wasn't looking at Michael, but it sounded like Ashton, and he was like, what was that laugh? And Luke was like, raw, and I was just like, he was like being so funny, and I just was like laughing. And
that's a nice shot. Have you ever like it's on the ball?
then like Michael was like, how long have you been playing guitar? Or like, have you ever played guitar before? And I was like, yeah, I've played for 4 years. And he was like, 4 years? He was like, wow, you're probably better than us. Luke was like, you're probably better than both of us. And I was just like, well, I was like, there's like no way. I was like, no, you guys are like so much better than me. Like, that's what I was thinking.
I'm playing guitar for 4 years. Oh, okay, so you're better than me. You're probably way better than both of us.
And then Michael like said, so can you play all our songs? And then I was like, yeah, but I was like, I have my favorites, but I was
so you're better than me. You're probably way better than both of us. Do you know how to play all the songs?
Yeah, but I have like my favorites.
just like I was trying to think of words to say. Like it was like literally like I forgot every word that was in the English dictionary. And I was like, yeah, but I have my favorites. And I was like, crap, they're gonna ask me like what my favorite is. And Michael was like, he was like, yeah, like what's your favorite? And he was like, what is it? And I was like, crap, like should I say she's kind of hot? And I was like, and then I just said it like it came out. I was like, probably she's kind of hot.
Yeah, what song?
Probably she's kind of hot.
You know what? But we have to play.
The crowd went nuts. Everyone started screaming and I was screaming and like I was just like my face when the crowd went nuts was just I was like because I was like the crowd was like so happy. But then Michael said something and I didn't hear what he said until he like I watched the video back because the crowd was screaming, so that's all I heard and I couldn't hear what he said in the mic. And he said like, oh, but we haven't played that one. He was like, we haven't played that one yet. We have to play it later. But he was like saying it in a funny like jokingly way. And then I was like, wait, I can't just be like, what? Like, oh my god, because like I was looking at him and I was just like, oh my god. And like I looked back at Luke, I was like, what did he say? I was like, what did he say? And then he was like, do you know any others? And I didn't know he said that. I literally couldn't hear him say that, but I was trying to read his lips, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. But I thought he said, do you want to play now? Like, and I was just like, oh. And then I was like, you want me to play now? Then he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, here you go. And then I was just like, oh. So like I thought that's what had happened, but I was just like, oh my god, I feel so bad. Like I feel like I should have like said something. But then Michael put his guitar around me, and wow, I need to like drink some juice before I say this because whoa. And then Michael put his guitar around me and I got it and I was like ready for him to get me all situated and stuff and like, you know, put it like around me, like he was literally putting it around me. Then Luke goes, he goes, you want to play this guitar? And I was like, like I looked at him and I was like, I heard him say something and I looked at him and then I saw him like starting to get his guitar off his shoulder, and then Michael like took his like off of me and then like he said something. I think he was like, ah. And then like Luke was like, here, you can play mine. He was like, here, play this one.
Right now, do you know any other one? Yeah, here you go. Do you want this guitar? You play this one.
And then he put it around me and I was just like, what? And I looked at him and he was so beautiful. Like his smile was so beautiful and oh my gosh, like my face literally hurts right now from smiling so much, but his smile was like the most beautiful thing and his face was the most beautiful thing I've seen. Like the look on his face when he like went and he got behind me and then he put the guitar on me, then he came back around and he stood right in front of me and literally all I saw was him. I couldn't see the crowd, I couldn't see nobody else. All that I saw was Luke and I literally, all my attention was on him and I was like just like looking at his like face and looking him in the eyes and like he looked me in the eyes and like I'm pretty sure like I heard Michael say, do you want to pick? And then I heard him say that, but I was like, wait, and like Luke was in front of me and I was just like, wait, I was like trying to like talk to Luke and then he was like, hold on, let me fix this, and he fixed like the knobs on the guitar and I saw him crank it up all the way and I was like, ah, and like he was like smiling when he was like cranking it up because he's like noticed that I was like freaking out and got a little nervous, and like Luke noticed that I started getting nervous and like just like his face, and I felt so comfortable. I felt like that was where I belonged up there literally. And when I like had his guitar, I was like, wow, like I feel like I'm in the band, like I feel like I belong up here. And he fixed the knobs and he was like, I think he said something like, hold on, like let me fix this. He was like, and he fixed it, or like hold on really quick, like he was gonna fix it. I honestly forget what he said, but you guys will hear it in the video. Anyways, and then I didn't realize he had a pick in his hand. I had brought my own pick to play with because I didn't realize that he had one in his hand. And I didn't know if they were going to have one or not because I didn't know how many picks like they had or whatever, and if they were going to be out of them. And so I was like trying to get mine out like after he was like fixing the knobs, and then he was like here's a pick, and I was like, ah! like I made that face. I was like, I have one. Like we had that little moment, and like he like looked out of my pocket, and he looked at me, and he was like, he started laughing. He was like, oh, he brought one with you. But then he like gave me his pic, and then he walked away, and he was like giggling.
Alright, let's play this one. Alright, guitar problems 101. Hold on, you know what? Hold on. Do you have a guitar pick? There you go. It's all you. Are you going with you?
That's when I knew, and then he told, like, you know, Cal and Michael and Ashton that it was possibly gonna be She's Kinda Hot. Like he walked away and he was like, possibly She's Kinda Hot, and I kept looking back at him, but I wanted to like look out at the crowd. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do like the little da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, like in She's Kinda Hot right before it hits the chorus, and I'm gonna go into the chorus because I was like, I should do the intro, but I don't know, like, so I just started from like where my gut told me to. And that's what I did. I literally didn't even like, it was so funny watching the video, but like I just did it. Like I started it like right when like Luke like walked like away, and oh my god, I started playing, and the feeling that I got was,
Let's get up to Brianna!
and I was just, you know, focusing on not slipping up and putting my chords in the right place. And so I was like, and like that's what I played, and like and then after that, like Luke said something, I think he was like, that's it, like I'm pretty sure he either said that's it or like that's like the something, like I couldn't make out what he said, but then I heard Michael go, this is effing awesome, like he said F-U-C-K-I-N-G, he was like, this is effing awesome, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, but then Luke goes, I look back and I'm just like, cause I looked back cause I was like, do you want me to like, do I keep going or like do I, and so I was like playing guitar, and then I looked back, and then Luke goes, I don't want to, he was like, you know what, he was like, I don't want to take the guitar away from her, and I was like, what the heck, and so I was like, I get to play longer, I was like, what the heck, and I was looking back at him, and I just like kept looking back at him, like, and I saw like Callum, and I was like looking at Callum because I turned this way, and Michael was on this side of me. And so I like started playing, and then as I started playing, Ashton started playing with me because they could hear what I was playing through their earpieces, and Ashton and Callum, I could hear Ashton and Callum started playing with me, and I didn't hear like that Mikey was playing because I was like, well, this is me, like I hear like the guitar that I'm doing. And right when Ashton started playing the drums loudly with me, it sounded so freaking good. I wanted to like pass out, like I felt like I was gonna throw up, and I was like, oh my god, like my face on the big screen, like if you guys were like, when I show you guys the video.
Hey, you know what?
My face was literally like, because I noticed that they were playing with me, and I was like, what is going on? And then they were like, we're gonna make a song, and I was like, what is even happening? And I just kept looking back, and I saw like the biggest smile on Luke's face, but that was just like, I saw the biggest smile on all their faces, like Callum's and like Michael's, and I was just like, what is happening? Like I can't even right now. And then we started playing, and then they started making a song. Then they were like, I couldn't hear what they were saying at first. I was just trying to focus on like playing. Like they were following my lead and like playing like rhythm with what I was playing, literally making a song. And then they were singing, they go, Cleveland. Like it was like Luke who was singing like most of it, and they all like chimed in. They were like, Cleveland. And then once I started singing, like I knew that's what they were like that's what they were saying. So I was like singing, like I was like, Cleveland. Like when they were, then they started singing, and then I heard Callum couldn't harmonize. He was like, Cleveland, and like he came in and like harmonized, and I was like, what? And I was like, what is happening? And I kept looking back, and I was just like, whoa.
We're making a song right now. It's called Cleveland. You sing it. Cleveland. Say it, Cleveland. Cleveland. Sing it out.
playing and I looked out into the crowd and I saw all these people, and then I like thought to myself, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But guys, when I was playing, I felt like I belonged on that stage. I felt so comfortable up there, and they all made me feel so comfortable, like especially Luke, because like I think he noticed that I started to get nervous, especially when he started like flirting with me and telling me he liked my shirt. And then when he gave me his guitar, like I was like, what? I was like, Luke, you got it, like you can't be serious. And then I was just like, wow. And then I stopped playing, then it ended, and it was like, then Ashton goes, Cleveland is so awesome, yeah, and then I was like, Brianna, and like, that's when they were singing that, Michael started kind of like doing a little guitar in there too, and literally we were making a song, and
Cleveland's really awesome, yeah!
guys, that was my dream. Like, I dreamed. It was like all I could have ever wanted and more, and I couldn't believe it. And when I was done, I like looked back at Luke, like I turned around, you know, to look back, because like we were done, I was done playing guitar, and I looked back and I was like, I couldn't believe that happened. I was in shock. And when he was like walking back to me, like his face, I saw his face because the light was shining in his face, and he was like, ah, and he was like, he made that like face, and he was walking to me.
Cleveland's really awesome, yeah! Yeah!
It's like I could tell by the look on their face that they were so like shocked, and like they were just as shocked as I was, and they had so much fun with it like I did. And then here's the part where I literally lost it, because I go, like I heard Luke saying to the mic, like, and I was like watching him, and I was like, he was like, that was awesome, he was like, that was a good job, he was like, that was a good job, or something. Like he was like that was awesome, he was like, good job. And then like I go, and like I wasn't sure like if I should like go to hug him or like wait for him to go to hug me, but then guys, I hand him back his guitar, and then literally right after that he goes into the mic, and in the video you can hear him say, he goes, I want a hug. And I was just like, what? I was like, what, you want a hug? Like, he literally told me, he was like, I want a hug. And then I hug him. And
Brianna, kill her! Oh my god, that's awesome. That's our next single. Brianna, kill her! Oh my god, that's awesome.
Just really quick, I go to hug him, and like, you know, he was able to hug me with like one arm because he had the other in his hand, but I wrapped one arm around his torso, and or like his waist, whatever, and then I wrapped the other arm around his neck, and like I kind of stood on my tippy toes a little bit because they were so like giant in real life, and they were just so big, and it was just like, I know I'm tall as it is, like I'm 5'10", but like they were just so like, and I was just like, so I like kind of stepped up a little bit to hug Luke so I could get my arm around his neck and like put my, you know, like, you know, face like over like his shoulder or whatever. But I was like, I need to tell him in his ear, like I was like, I'm gonna tell him thank you, like thank you so much, and I was gonna tell him that I loved him, and I did, and I went to hug him. And the hug was so tight, like guys, he hugged me so tight, like it was the tightest, for like a one-arm hug, he hugged me so tight, and I was just like, oh my god. And then I whispered into his ear, or I didn't whisper it, but I told him into his ear, I was like, Luke, thank you so much, I was like, I love you so much. And then like right after we got in with the hug, like I had his like, my hand like on his shoulder, then he was like, I love you too, and you could barely faintly hear him say it into the mic, but then I was just like, I didn't want to walk away from him, and then he kept saying stuff, he was like, wow, like, he just kept saying that was like a good job, that was awesome, he was like, you were so good, he just kept saying stuff into the mic, and I was like, I don't want to leave you, I was really like, I can't like leave you, I don't want to leave you.
Oh my god, amazing. Cleveland's really awesome. That was awesome. Hey, good job.
Hug Michael, and as I was going over to do that, Luke goes back to the mic, and I think it was when I was hugging Michael, he goes, that was actually badass, and he says it into the mic, and I was just like, I didn't realize he said it at first because I like wasn't listening, because I was like going over there to like say, like listen to Michael. And like I'm watching the video back, like seeing that he said that, he goes, that was actually badass, because like he told me like again when I was walking away, he was like, that was awesome, that was a good job, and it's like right when he gets to the mic he was like, oh wait, and then he was like, that was actually badass. And I lost it when I watched the video back. Michael, and like I said, I hugged him, and then I told Michael in his ear, I was like, thank you, I was like, I love you. And then he was just like smiling, and like he was like, I was just like, wow. Then he was like, do you want to pick? He was like, hey, good job. And he said that like when like right when we started hugging, and he was like, do you want to pick? And I was like, yeah. And like he took one off his mic stand and he gave me a pick. And you guys,
Hey!
I'm gonna show you the pics. I have the pics right here. And wow, I'm like losing my mind. So I'm gonna show you Luke's, I'm gonna show you Michael's. So this is Luke's pic that he gave me, and I'm gonna try to focus this because you can see right here at the end where he played so hard. I don't even know if you can like see that, but I'm hoping that you can. You can see right there where he had played so hard. So this was a pic that Luke had played with for the whole show, and then that I played with, and then he gave it to me. I couldn't believe this, and I know my voice probably sounds so weird right now because I'm on the verge of like crying again, but this was Luke's pic, and it was amazing, and I just, and then this is Michael's pic that he gave me, and it was like an actual 5 sauce customized pic. Like it had like their new little logo skull head on it, and then it says Ernie Ball on the back, and this one's thicker and this one's like more flimsier, but I was freaking out because this was a brand new one, but Luke actually, you can so tell where he played it, and I was like, wow, and then I hugged Michael, and like he was like, hey, good job, and like when he said, do you want a pic, he gave me the pic, and I was like, yeah, and then I just kept telling him, I was just like, thank you, and like I was like, wow, and then I literally sprint over to Callum because I was like waving at Ashton, like I looked up at Ashton, and I was like, because I know like I couldn't get up there and give him a hug because I wouldn't have time, because he was telling me to like, you know, get off stage, but I didn't see that because I literally sprinted over to Callum, and I was like, I got over there and I like scared him a little bit because he was like talking to Ashton because they were getting ready to finish rejects. I got over there and I was like, Callum, and he was like, I scared him a little bit, but the look on his face was so beautiful, and he was just like, oh, he was like, hey, he was like, great job, and like we hugged.
Well, let's get you looking at you singing. Sing! You gotta sing!
Said it really quick, it was just like a really quick thing, but I hugged him, and holy balls, guys, holy moly, guys, Callum is so muscular, and I like, he was all tensed up when I hugged him because he was like, you know, playing and stuff, and he was like excited, and like so was I, and I hugged him, like, and that hug was awesome too, even though it was the quickest one. And then I looked up at Ashton, and I waved with my hands again, and I just kind of like was running off the stage because they started like playing rejects. And then I got off the stage, and wow, I started crying. I was bawling so hard, and everyone was like, Brianna, like they all started coming up to me and hugging me, and everyone was just crying, and I literally hugged everyone in the pit, and everyone was crying, and then, you know, it made me feel so good. And guys, literally, I still can't believe that this happened. This was my dream, and I honestly, I just want to cry thinking about it, but I'm just so drained from everything, and I go back to school tomorrow, and I'm just like, but wow, like I just want to say, like, Luke, like, Callum, Ashton, Michael, if any of you are watching this, you guys made my whole entire life, and you guys, like, made like, everything come true, and it was all I could have ever asked for and more, and thank you guys for being so sweet, and wow, and I still can't believe that this all happened, that Luke was like flirting with me, like I was like, wow, like he said he wanted a hug, and like when I got to the hotel and watched everything back, it was just like, wow, like literally my nerves were everywhere. And I had all of so many friends that were in the audience, and I'm probably most likely going to put all like the long videos at the end of this and everything, like the full video, but and everyone was like, when I walked out of the arena, I felt like so like famous, like everyone was coming up to me, they were like, oh, like were you the girl on stage, like everyone was giving me hugs, and I'll insert pictures because I have like people giving me group hugs and stuff, but guys, literally, I honestly don't even know what to say anymore, like, it was my dream, and like my dream came true. I'm trying not to cry, but like literally, guys, like my dream actually came true. Like that was all I've ever dreamed of, was to get up there and meet, like it was to meet 5 Souls, but like I got up there on stage, and I just want to thank you guys so much for being so sweet and for just like congratulating me on Instagram and Twitter, and everyone on Twitter that congratulated me. And wow, I still can't believe that this happened. All the videos will be at the end, I promise, like right when I get done talking, and I might have like, I don't know how I'm going to edit this yet, but either they're going to be at the end or you already would have either saw snippets of them, but then the full ones will be at the end. And I know some people posted videos on YouTube, so I'll link that down below, but once again, I just want to say thank you, 5 seconds of time, for bringing me on stage to play with you, and just thank you, Luke, for like letting me like have your like guitar and play your guitar, and literally, like, I couldn't have asked for, like, a better way to make my life, and you guys are so sweet, and I'm gonna start crying, like, I'm literally starting to cry, but I don't want to end this video because I love you guys all so much, and you guys are amazing, and just, I'm so forever grateful, I'm eternally grateful, and my love and dedication for this band is gonna last for eternity, and I'll never forget that moment, so just thank you so much. And Wow, I'm sorry, but just thank you. And I'm gonna go now because this video has already been so long, and I love you guys, and I love Five Sauce, and I just love you, and thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Work on the fun, please. This place is having too much fun. All right. Hey! Come on down here. Came out of nowhere and I scared her. She was like, ah! Hello. What's your name?
Brianna!
Give it up for Brianna!
So that's a nice shot.
Have you ever played guitar before?
Playing for 4 years.
I've played guitar for 4 years. Oh, okay. So you're better than me. You're probably way better than both of us. Do you know how to play all the songs?
Yeah, but I have like my favorites.
Yeah, what song?
Probably She's Kinda Hot.
You know what? Well, we have to play that. So we play all the way now. Do you know any other one? Yeah, here you go.
Alright, do you want this guitar? You play this one.
Alright. Guitar problems 101.
You know what? Hold on.
Do you have a guitar pick? There you go.
It's all you. Are you going with you? Alright, it's all you. Possibly She's Kinda Hot.
Let's get up and Brianna! Cleveland's really That was awesome. Hey, good job.